out of it. Fight out of it, boys. Come on. No holding. Lots of charging. Right. Step back.
We're ringside once again on Australia's hottest ring sports program. This is Friday Night Fights. In sport, we often talk about the next generation. In Aussie boxing, they're the next generation no longer. They've arrived, and one of the leaders of the pack is our headline act tonight. Wild Will Tomlinson will defend for the first time the IBO's Super Featherweight Championship of the World that he won in November of last year. Standing across the ring, the durable Mexican Daniel Ruiz. If you've seen Will fight before, you know the deal. If you haven't, get set. It'll be ugly, but in a good way, it will be a war. That is the main event on this 5 Live fight card. Let's check out what's on your boxing menu here tonight. And we kick it off at catchweight, a preliminary 4-rounder with Hakan Tekin, a Muay Thai fighter on debut, taking on another Victorian in Paul Watson. Fight 2 and some question marks here, undefeated. Brad Hollywood Pitt has a new challenger, a challenger with plenty of go, but does he have the tools to inflict Pitt's first loss? Joel Two Guns Casey is the man stepping up in weight significantly for the first time tonight. We drop down to 70 kilos in junior middleweight. Michael Hermann, coming off a 6-round points win last start, steps in against the very talented Dwight Richie, this one over 6 rounds. Our semi-main event is Australia versus New Zealand. Arguably the two best in the light heavyweight division face off. Blaise Capparello and Robert Berridge, neither man beaten before. Who goes home with the O? This scheduled for 10. And our main event is for the IBO's Super Featherweight Championship of the World. Will Tomlinson's first defence. It's a tough one against a Mexican who is younger but also more experienced. He's also chasing a dream. The challenger is Daniel Ruiz. This one over 12 rounds. Joining me ringside, former national champion Chris McCulling. A huge night for Will Tomlinson.
Yeah, look, it's a big occasion for Will, who's fast becoming one of Australia's most entertaining fighters here. Look, the action for Will, he's always in an action-packed fight, none more so than his last fight with Alan Herrera, to where he won this title, which will go down as probably one of the best fights we've seen in the country for some time.
It had a little bit of everything, but essentially it was a war. It was about fatigue, it was about character, it was about courage and heart.
Yeah, it certainly was, and I don't think we'll see anything different tonight. I think what Will's got to look out for is the left hook from Ruiz. Will's got to keep that right hand tight and roll under it as best as he can. On the flip side, Ruiz seems to keep that left hand a little low, so if I was Will, I'll be doubling the jab to the chest and sending the right hand straight over top.
He's a talented boxer, but a heart the size of Tasmania. Will Tomlinson and Daniel Ruiz is our main event. Our semi-main event pits New Zealand's #1 light heavyweight in Robert the Butcher Berridge up against our #1 light heavyweight in Blake Capparello.
Yeah, what a great fight. Look, Blake Capparello's been here before, and if I was a betting man, I'd be saying Blake Capparello will do the same thing he did with Michael Bolling. Circle around the outside of the ring, set traps for Rob Berridge to walk into, where Bolling can get that big left hand over top.
We've seen Robert Berridge down gone under before. A surprise knockout of one of the real rising stars in Australia in Trent Broadhurst. We also see him draw with Kerry Foley. He's got power in the left hand as the man they call the Butcher. But power in the left hand is also the key for the other left-hander in this fight, in Blake Capparello.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And, Rob Berridge, there's going to be no bells and whistles, no frills, all power, all heart. And he's going to be in for a tough fight with Blake Capparello.
We saw Capparello last time out against Michael van Nimwegen in this very venue. He's the hometown hero here tonight and looking to impress. Also on the undercard, has anyone got enough to stop Brad Pitt?
Look, it's a big ask for Joel Casey going up so much in weight. Brad Pitt's been here before against Daniel Hermann as well. Look, I think if I was to think what Brad Pitt would do, he'd look for the same punch. The left hook followed by the right hand. Joel Casey, on the other hand, he's got to come out and take something what Victor Oganoff did. Put the pressure on Brad Pitt.
We look forward to your comments throughout the course of the evening. There is so much to talk about, especially in our own backyard. 5 live fights coming your way on Australia's sports leader, Fox Sports, and it's showtime. Welcome to the Pavilion. We are sold out in Melbourne as Friday Night Fights returns on Australia's sports leader, Fox Sports. A 5 live fight card, and we are going to kick it off at catchweight. It is Hakan Tekin up against Paul Watson. Two young local men ready to do their thing. Taking a look at the maths that matter, and a 4 centimetre height and 7 centimetre reach advantage, both in favour of Watson, who comes into tonight 1 fight, 1 win, and that win via way of knockout. 0.6 of a kilo separated on the scales 24 hours ago. Kicking it off in catchweight, 4 3-minute rounds. Let's go ringside to Mr. Howard Lee.
Thank you, Andy. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, would you introduce, welcome to centering in the blue corner, Hakan Tekin. Red corner, the mechanic, Paul Watson. Rounds of boxing in the welterweight division. They will call it catch weights. Ladies and gentlemen, would you welcome in the blue corner from Dallas, Melbourne's West, Team Ultimate, Joe DeMicoli, John Sheeder. He was a Muay Thai fighter, amateur boxer, 33 matches in both those respective codes. At 76.55 kilograms, the bearded one at, ladies and gentlemen, would you welcome the Ottoman Lion, Hakan Tekin. And across the ring, the red corner with Brian Butler from East End Boxing, Croydon. Ladies and gentlemen, one professional fight here at the Melbourne Pavilion. February 24, he won that bout by knockout at 75.95 kilograms, fondly known as the Mechanic, Paul Watson. Referee Tony Moretta, judges Malcolm Bullner, Dale Westerman, Samantha Bullner. Brian Umbertretta, Barry Michael Sports, welcome you to centre ring.
Okay, gentlemen, you know the rules. Obey my instructions all the time. Defend yourselves all the time, okay? Back to your corner now, come out on the bell. Check it. Dale.
Originally scheduled at super middleweight, fighting at catchweight. Only one professional fight for that man, Paul Watson, while Hakan Tekin across the ring is on debut as a professional boxer. 7 wins from 8 fights as a Muay Thai fighter. It started in impressive fashion, in a quick fashion. It is Hakan Tekin in the white trunks, Paul Watson in the silver and black. Hope you've had a wonderful week. Great way to finish it on the lounge at home, or perhaps at your favourite watering hole watching Fox Sports Friday Night Fights. Andy Raymond along with the former national champion in Chris McCullen. No feeling out process, no getting settled, no easing in. The boys have loaded up and they're firing.
Yeah, straight into it from the start, and the first of an absolute cracking card here tonight. Oh, good shot from Tekin. He's hurt Watson.
He certainly has hurt Watson. It was the counter punch too, and Watson on the back foot. In fact, he is just standing there absorbing shots, and they are big shots from Hakan Tekin.
He's in real trouble, Watson.
Somehow managed to score with a shot at the end there, and Watson very wisely holding on. Still wearing the bombs. He's the man they call the Mechanic. Everything's a little out of tune at the moment for the Mechanic as he takes another big right hand. Tony Moretta steps in and says that'll do. On debut, Hakan Tekin is victorious in devastating fashion.
Wow, what a debut from Hakan Tekin. The red corner of Paul Watson aren't happy at the moment.
Yeah, Brian Butland, Franklin Agobi and Gary Peters in the corner. Not happy with the referee for calling a stop to it. I've got to say, I think Tony Moretta made the right decision.
Yeah, he's only young, Watson, and he was certainly in trouble, there's no doubt. He got caught with that right hand straight over the top from Tekin.
26 amateur fights, an Australian ABL champion last year. 8 Muay Thai fights for this young man of Turkish descent, and he comes out and does this on debut. Welcome to professional boxing, young man.
Wow. Looking forward to seeing more of Hakan Tekin.
So many unanswered right hands, and that's where experienced referee Tony Moretta jumped in.
A lot of pride in the corner of Tekin at the moment.
Mum's there. And well done, young fella. Very proud of you, as you should be.
Probably do it the toughest out of everyone, the mums.
Absolutely.
Matthew Litwinenko in the corner as well.
We all see Matthew Litwinenko against Brett W. Smith.
Won't that be a great fight?
Australian title fight on our next show in June. Let's make it official. Let's go centre ring.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Sensational finish to this fight by TKO in round 1, 1 minute 30 seconds. Referee Tony Moretta waved the fight off. Your winner, Hakan Tekin, on professional debut.
Hakan Tekin on debut with his hand raised in victory. Congratulations to the young man, a big, big scalp. 1 fight down, 4 remains on Friday Night Fights. This is what is still to come. Up next, a cruiserweight bout. Joel Casey stepping up in weight division to take on the undefeated Brad Hollywood Pitt. 6 3-minute rounds is the journey there. Michael Hermann and Dwight Richie, they face off at middleweight again. 18 minutes is where we are scheduled. Our semi-main event for the evening, over 10 rounds, the Butcher, Robert Berridge and Blake Capparello. New Zealand versus Australia. And our main event for the IBO Super Featherweight Championship of the World, Daniel Ruiz the challenger, Will Tomlinson the champion. All that and more on this edition of Fox Sports Friday Night Fights. Stick around, plenty still to come.
So you got a heads up. I'll welcome back. I'll say joining me, main event, Willie Tomlinson, the home team, Nervous, on the side, with the boat, and winning is easier than defending his title. But now you're the one who's got it. What have you been working on?
Just want to get it done there, don't you? Sorry? I've got you. Yep. Yeah, mate. Yep. No worries. And just confirming it's Joel Casey, Brad Pitt, the next fight. Okay.
Yourselves all the time, okay? Back you.
Welcome back to Fox Sports Friday Night Fights, live from Melbourne. And an upset win, a surprise win in our opener. Hakan Tekin, victorious on debut TKO in round number 1. Joining me, our main eventer and the new IBO Super Featherweight Champion of the World, Will Tomlinson. How's the belly? Nerves, excited, or a bit of both?
Yeah, a bit of both, mate. It's a big night, but I'm not going to let the occasion get to me. I'm just going to get in there and fight the way I always fight hard, and win the fight and retain my title.
It's often said winning the title is easier than defending the title because all of a sudden you're the one that everyone's hunting. They want that gold.
Yeah, well, I think it's hard because you just at the top level. You're in there with world-rated fighters every fight, so it's always going to be a hard fight whether you're the champion or the challenger.
What do you know about Daniel Ruiz?
He's got maybe an inch or two in height on me, maybe a little bit of reach. He's he punches wide with long gangly hooks,
yep.
And I'm just going to go in there with the tight defence, box smart, and just do the job.
Looking at the tail of the tape, and you're 3 years the senior of him. A centimetre in height, or so the stats say, a couple of centimetres in reach, and absolutely nothing on the scales. What have you been working on since we last saw you in November? Of course, you won the title on the Danny Green undercard. What's been the focus of the team?
Just working hard. Like we're very hard workers in the gym, especially that's the way I fight. Like I have to be very conditioned going into every fight. So what I took out of that last fight, knowing how hard I have to push myself to get through those top level fights, I've just made sure I've done all the work in the gym, trained really hard, done everything right, everything I could possibly do right, and the rest will take care of itself.
One of the leaders of the next generation, Wild Will Tomlinson, our main event tonight. We wish you all the very best. We're going to continue on at cruiserweight. In fact, up next is a stablemate of Wild Will's, Brad Hollywood Pitt. 12 fights, 12 wins, 10 inside the distance, up against Joel Two Guns Casey. Far more experience coming into his 28th pro bout. He also has the 10 wins via way of knockout. Stepping up a heap in weight is Joel Casey. It is so hard to find the man they call Hollywood any type of opposition down under. 2 years separates a 4 centimetre height and 6 centimetre reach advantage to Hollywood, and 2.15 kilos on the scales. The cruiserweights are up next on Fox Sports. Let's go centre ring to Howard.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we come up now to a domestic cruiserweight match. 6 rounds scheduled journey. With you, welcome in the blue corner from Townsville, North Queensland, the Thunder from down under, Joel Two Guns Casey. Brad Hollywood Pitt. Welcome back to Centre Ring. Brian Armatruda, Barry Michael Sports in association with Simmons Homes. Welcome you to the Melbourne Pavilion. Friday night fights, Fox Sports. 6 rounds of domestic cruiserweight boxing. Would you welcome in the blue corner from Townsville, North Queensland, ex-PABA Asia Pacific and IBO Pan Pacific Light Heavyweight Champion. Ranked number 4, Ray Wheatley's World of Boxing. 27 fights, 15 wins, 9 losses, 3 draws, 10 inside the distance. Corner team, Gary Chapman, Charlie Liparota. Stepping up to 88 kilograms even. Wearing red trunks, black trunks, all the colours are there. Ladies and gentlemen, the Thunder from down under, Iron Joel Two Guns Casey. And across the ring in the red corner, Lincoln Hudson and Fidel Turkle from the Blacktown Hit Squad, fighting out of the no contest gym, St Mary's in New South Wales. Gold, Commonwealth Games Melbourne, Beijing Olympian, current OPBF and IBO Asia Pacific champion, relinquishes Aussie Cruiserweight Championship. He brings to centre ring a perfect 12 out of 12, 10 inside the distance. Involved in a sensational fight against Victor Okanov on Fox Sports here at the Melbourne Pavilion last year in November at 90.15 kilograms, wearing the familiar purple with gold. Ladies and gentlemen, they call him Brad Hollywood Pitt. Referee Malcolm Bullner, judges Samantha Bullner, Brian Butler and Tony Moretta. Here we go, Malcolm Bullner.
Welcome to Centre Ring, gentlemen. Let's have a good, clean fight, obey my instructions all the time. Shake hands now, come on, fight you the bell, may the best man win. Good luck.
Joel Casey, who has stepped up a division and a bit over the last 18 months, in particular for this fight. and looks a lot more comfortable at 88 kilos than I and perhaps many thought he would.
I can't believe the size of him. He really looks in great shape, Joel Casey.
One tough boy. 6 3-minute rounds in the cruiserweight division.
Oh, well spotted.
200 pounds or 90.71 kilos. There's Casey in the black and red, and the maroon Brad Pitt. A right-hander versus a left-hander. The lefty is Casey, the righty. The orthodox boxer is, and they call Hollywood.
Brad Pitt bought out by a colourful entrance from soon-to-be professional fighter Val Borg, now teammate down at Brad Pitt's.
Pitt, a 2006 Commonwealth Games gold medalist, a 2008 Olympian. Made his professional debut just on 12 months later, September of 09. Down the road here in Port Melbourne. Punches straight there, catches Casey, who buckled him, wore another right hand, but it is all Brad Pitt in the opening round.
Pitt let him off there too.
Brad thought he'd done enough.
Oh, and again, the left hook, the right hook from Brad Pitt.
Step back.
Joel in his 154th professional round. Is he going to go in for the grab and hold on and buy some time here, perhaps?
Smart thing would be, but easier said than done. I tell you what, Brad Pitt spotted it quite early. You see where Joel Casey's left hand sits? It's sitting either out the front or low, and Brad Pitt just keeps coming around the outside and catching him with that right hook.
Moving to his left and coming straight with the right hand.
Ooh, head clash.
Big heads. Just over a minute remaining, round number 1. There is not a spare seat at the Pavilion here tonight. AFL players, State of Origin players, celebrities from the big and small screen in attendance.
Massive crowd here tonight in the Pavilion. Good work from Casey. Just got to change that head height. He's just walking straight in. He's doing the right thing by putting the pressure on Pitt, but he's got to change that head height and give Pitt something different to look at. So he's just sitting there waiting.
Waiting and wearing on that occasion from Brad Pitt, a good straight right hand. Goes to 6 centimetre reach advantage over Two Guns Casey.
Nice body shot from Joel Casey. And again, a good body shot, left up the body from Joel Casey. Seems to have weathered that early onslaught from Brad Pitt.
Bell sounds, round number 1 over. Very much a Brad Pitt round.
Come up from over, go over the top, then the right down the right. Now it doesn't matter whether you come up with a right hand or you go over the top. But everything comes off that jab, come up from over the top, okay? Now listen, every time you get in close, that's when you're clashing the heads.
Here we go, have a look at the big right hand from Brad Pitt. Comes around the outside, there it is, straight around the left hand of Joel Casey.
And Brad stepped away thinking he'd generated enough power that Joel was going to end up on his backside.
Yeah, he thought, I've seen this before.
Seconds out for the first round 2.
Right, seconds out.
Differing corners, control in the red corner, a little bit of desperation and concern in the blue corner. We move into round number 2.
I'll tell you what's certainly got to help Joel Casey is the size of his neck and traps. It's just really takes up the ring itself.
Slip there for Brad Pitt on the rear foot. Edging forward. Here's Joel Casey trying to drop that lead hand of Pitt, and by dropping the lead hand you take away the jab, which he's hoping takes away that straight right.
That's right. Pitt usually fights with his hands pretty low anyway. It's just the speed of his punches that people struggle with.
For a big man, they are quick hands. Into the corner. corner, trying to bully his way in and limit the room that Brad Pitt has got to operate as Joel Casey.
You can see when Pitt's centering or trying to draw Casey on, he's still looking for that right hook. And that's what Casey needs to do, try and unsettle Brad Pitt.
In just 12 fights, Brad Pitt has moved himself into the top 20 in the world, independently ranked. Trying for the left hook from the ropes there. Going underneath initially as Casey, as Pitt goes over the top and Joel walks into another one.
Nice work from Joel Casey. Behind the jab, down to the body, good mixture. Oh, there's the danger shot from Pitt.
Trying to vary it up here is Joel Casey, trying to lower the hands and slow down Brad Pitt, and that starts with the body work to Casey on the back foot after two big shots from Pitt.
That right hook is lethal from Brad Pitt.
Great support here for Brad Pitt. He's originally a Victorian boy, but now based in New South Wales. Final half a minute. Casey walks into another straight right hand.
And another left hook to follow that. Right hook, sorry, to follow that.
Joel Casey not hard to find. He is moving around that centre portion of the ring more times than not, keeping Brad on the back foot and back towards the ropes.
And that'd be the plan of Casey, and the smart thing. You don't want to try outbox Brad Pitt.
Perfect. All right, but in close, we'll lock him up a little bit more in close, okay? All right, would you throw that uppercut? You haven't thrown that uppercut yet. Water. Well. All right, good, mate. Hey, as you're coming in, mate, you've got to keep that guard up, all right? You're throwing the right hand from down here. All right, he's trying to come in from a different angle. All right, you keep that guard up. You close the guard, you go to the body, mate. You don't like it, you hit him with an uppercut to the body.
We have a look at some of the action from round number 2. It's Casey trying to back Brad Pitt up, but Pitt catching him off on the back foot. There it is again, the right hook from Brad Pitt.
Brad Hakan, Mark Murphy, Bryce Gibbs, Jeremy Wagner, seconds out, round 3.
Seconds out.
Gary Chapman, Charlie Liperotto in the corner of Joel Casey. Both men launch. Only over 6 rounds. As Casey tried to bully his way in, it just squared up a little and grabbed Casey, stopped, reset.
Don't hang it there, come on, get up free, get up free, hold, run it. Don't hold that, Brad. Come on, let him go, Come on, let him go, Brad. Don't hang there.
Referee Malcolm Bullner very busy with instructions, isn't he?
Nice work from Joel Casey.
Almost exclusively using that left hand, Joel Casey in the grapple there. Straight left hand taken on the gloves by Pitt and responds with a left hook.
This isn't where Brad Pitt needs to be, and one thing that I've seen's gone missing is Brad Pitt's jab. Not a big thing used with against the southpaw opponent, but still very effective. At the moment, he's just looking for the big bomb, the big right hook. I think he can get, use his feet a little bit more and get that jab working.
Bring it up. Come on, step back. Look.
Casey's there to be hit, but Brad's just waiting for that one bomb.
We saw the silky, smooth skills of Brad Pitt nullified by the brawling tactics of Viktor Oganov in November of last year in this very building. And in many ways, Joel Casey is trying to replicate that style of game plan. In your face, complete pressure.
It's a smart thing to do. Brad Pitt is one of the best boxers we've got in this country when he's on his game. No use trying to stand there and match the speed of Brad Pitt.
Casey down and very quickly to his feet and launched himself.
6, 7, 8, you okay?
Under a minute remaining in the round. Pitt wears one. A good straight right left hand it was from Joel Casey.
Yeah, slipped the right hand straight over the top.
Slipped again. Went down to the body.
Hang in there, watch your head, watch your head, watch your head.
Pitt concentrating high.
Okay, break it up, break it up, break it up, break it up, watch your head.
Complaining there of the butting heads.
Well, it's dynamite, that right hand from Brad Pitt.
Casey again doing a nice job of slipping and getting in on the chest of Brad Pitt. Which nullifies very much the height and reach advantage of the New South Welshman.
If you take that knockdown away, Joel Casey may have even stole that round.
Welcome IBF World Champion wrestlers Capparello, and Fox
Talking of the knockdown, let's have a look at it from Brad Pitt. On top of the temple. We've seen it time and time again here on Friday Night Fights. There it is.
A shot like that is not always power, it's position.
That's right.
Time is not there. You've got to move the hand. Move the hands and it'll come. I'm up from over my head. Double jab, but you can't punch yourself out. Hey, start looking at that.
Seconds out. Round 4 coming up. Let's get involved. Joel Casey, Brett Hollywood Pitt.
Been scheduled to go 6 rounds on 11 occasions, Brad Pitt has only been taken there the once.
Yeah, hasn't seen the end of the fight too often, Brad Pitt. 10 knockouts in 12 fights.
A couple of good shots there from Pitt, scoring punches, power punches. Left hand low, right hand lethal.
Don't hang in there, Joe. Come on. Break. Okay, break, man.
He's a very composed athlete, is Brad Pitt. Watch when the two guys getting close. He's got that calm look in the eye, doesn't panic.
It's experience.
Doesn't use any unnecessary energy.
Oh, there's a cut on Brad Pitt, is it? On the bridge of Brad Pitt's nose, or is it Joel Casey?
No, it's Joel Casey.
Oh, it's bad.
If you're having dinner at home, it might be wise to turn away at this point in time because we've got a bleeder.
Do you want to keep fighting, Joel? It's a massive cut.
Too much.
Yeah.
That's too much.
I think, look, if you want, you can run it for a minute or two, but if it starts to affect his vision,
It's a big cut. Come on. Let's look at him.
let him go.
Okay.
Joel Casey says, I want to fight. Malcolm Bulmer says, I don't think so. And Dr. Peter Lewis was standing in the middle.
I'll tell you what, Malcolm Bulner was pretty much telling the doctor that he's got to stop that fight.
Look at Joel Casey now. Badly cut.
This is the heart of this guy.
Use a corner.
Mouth guard is out of Brad Pitt.
Use a corner.
He's like a bull at the moment, Joel Casey. Look at him.
A look in the eyes.
This is amazing they've let this go on.
Brad Pitt covered in blood. It is not his.
Fair chance where it is. It's from a head clash with the left-hander versus the right-hander. Be good to have a look at that in the replay.
Bring it up.
Casey with a smile on his face. Stalks across the ring.
Don't push.
It is an absolute bloodbath. As Pitt goes for his key punch that he finds quite often.
A massive test for the blue corner and trying to
fix up the cut on the head of Joel Casey in this minute break. He's still pushing forward.
What about the ticker of Joel Casey?
Okay, break leg, step back. Your mouth back.
That's twice.
Okay, hurry up. Charlie, you want to stop it? All right, let him go. Okay, box.
We continue, and the offer was put to Charlie Liperona from the corner of Joel Casey. Would you like to stop it? He said, I'm not going to overrule the boss, the man with the gloves on.
Nice line from Brad Pitt.
Hit again with that right hand. Final 10 seconds of the round. It could well be the final 10 seconds of the fight, because no doubt Dr. Peter Lewis will head over along with Malcolm Brindler and take a look at Joel Casey in this minute break. And we're going to take a look at this.
Clean it! Come on, Bob, let's go back here to the phone! Come there, Joel. Hey, suck it in, mate, suck it in. I need more than that.
Well, let's have a look at what went on. The right hand from Brad Pitt. Or was it the right hand that did it from Brad Pitt?
Round 5.
It was the right hand.
I'm hoping this it bleeds too much there.
And Brad Pitt hesitated straight away. And we continue on into round number 5.
You don't see that too often, a right hand cutting the forehead. Or as they clash heads there.
Brad Pitt with that straight right hand again. He's got a big target in between the eyes of Joel Casey.
I'll tell you, Brad Pitt's looking a little fatigued at the moment as he lands some or loads some massive bombs up.
He's landed some big shots as Pitt. Casey's been down and stunned. In particular in the first round, one of the first shots of the fight.
Yeah, the big right hook.
Bring it up, break leg.
People ringside ducking for cover, in particular those wearing white shirts.
Oh, nice combination from Brad Pitt as Casey walks forward, takes a seat.
Don't put your weight on me, Brad. Come on. Give me a
Oh, look at this.
Box.
Now to box on. And in fact, considering the size of the cut, the corner has done a very good job in the minute break that they did have in between rounds.
Well, I think it's one of those ones that are near impossible.
To quote the great wrestling commentator of years past, Gordon Soley, Joel Casey's face is a crimson mask.
Look at him go, Joel Casey. It's like a man possessed. Pitt must be thinking, what do I have to do to get rid of this guy? As he hits him to the body and hurts Casey.
He certainly has hurt Casey. The hands went down. He slumped over.
He's going to need a blood transfusion after this, Joel Casey.
Again going to the body, Pitt. Ripping away. An already fatigued and already battered Joel Casey. Having the wind taken out of him.
And again. Certainly not enjoying those body shots from Pitt.
As a result, the hands drop, allowing an opportunity up over the gloves and onto the chin of Joel Casey.
I can't believe the fight hasn't been stopped to even go and have another look at this.
He's going to need more than a band-aid.
Yes, he will.
Hit again to the body. High with the left.
One band-aid.
High with the left. down into the sternum, into the abdomen with the right hand.
Oh, Pitt. What about the whiskers on Joel Casey? Just still comes forward. Pitt looking like Papa Smurf.
Out. Time.
The sixth and final round between Brad Pitt and Joel Casey. Joel Casey, whose forehead looks like the top of a money box, is smiling as he moves into the final round.
At the moment, Brad Pitt keeps donating into that money box. Oh, left hook from Pitt.
And Casey has been cut for a second time. Just on the outside of the right eye. Not what he needs as he wears a straight right hand.
I'm happy for him to stay over that side of the ring.
Casey changing levels, so too does Brad Pitt.
Early on here in the final round, I think Pitt's smart move would be to go to the body and keep slowing up Joel Casey.
Don't hang it there. Okay, bring it up, bring it up, bring it up, bring it up.
Barking instructions from the red corner is Lincoln Hudson.
Benny Warburton covered himself with one of the ring cards to avoid the blood.
They battling close, almost chest on chest again. Two Guns has been outgunned tonight, but no one with more heart in Australia this evening.
He'll gain some fans from this, Joel Casey. I'm one of them. Nice jab from Pitt. That's what I called for earlier. I think it's there all night.
Casey's still stalking, still moving forward. He hasn't gone ducking for cover. He hasn't hit.
Oh, I don't think it's in Joel Casey's repertoire.
Looking for that one knockout shot is Joel Casey. That's his chance with just on a minute remaining in the sixth and final round.
Well, Pitt just misses with the right hook. Casey trots forward again. Casey should pop that jab on the way through. Give himself some balance to throw that big left hand.
He'd only been the 6 rounds once before in his career. That was with Joshua Harris in the United States.
Break it up, break it up, break it up. Come on, you've got to keep punching. Box.
Pitt now moving around to his right, trying to open up a different angle for his straight right hand.
Oh, good right hook from Pitt. Nice work from Casey. Comes straight back again. Chops away
Come over the top. Joel Casey, final seconds of the fight. A war here at cruiserweight. Brad Pitt and Joel Casey. They're loving it here in
Some energy, 2 guns.
He'll be bouncing around all night, Joel Casey.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at the national rankings in the cruiserweight division. 90.71 kilos, 200 pounds or 14 stone 4 is the limit. Daniel Hermann, once again the champion, a multi-time champion. Brad Pitt with a regional title, ranked at 1. Anthony McCracken, David Alua, Victor Roganoff, look who's back. Moses Sorovi after an impressive recent outing over the man at 6 in Peter Cronje. There is some talent here in the Australian cruiserweight division. Let's go centre ring. Time Howard Lee to make this official.
Yes, as Andy Raymond said, it's a bloodbath. Before we announce the decision, turn the music down. How about a big round of applause for raw courage, Iron Joel 2 Guns Casey. He was a bloody mask, but he shouldered on. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a unanimous decision. Judge Tony Moretta had it 60-53. Dale Westerman 60-54. Samantha Bullner much closer, 58-55. Unanimous points winner, taking it to a perfect 13, Brad Hollywood Pitt.
Brad Hollywood Pitt, winner via unanimous points decision. A big victory, and that now makes it 13 fights, 13 wins, still 10 inside the distance. Hope you're enjoying Friday Night Fights. We are back again on Friday, June 15, live from Brisbane. 3 title fights on the night, including a semi-main event. Mark Flanagan and Tyrone Jones for the Queensland light heavyweight title. That will be a belter. And the Australian lightweight title is on the line. Brett W. Smith and Matthew Litwinenko. These 2 young men, a dream, and Litwinenko wants a bit of it. That is Friday, June 15, you can see all the action on Fox Sports 1. From abroad, you can check out all the details on mainevent.com.au, but Sunday, June 10, and then 7 days later on the 17th, Pacquiao and Bradley for the WBO welterweight title. Manny is back. The WBC middleweight title is the headline act. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. up against Andy Lee. So plenty happening in the world of boxing, and you can see it all on Main Event and Fox Sports venues. 2 fights down, 3 remain on this edition of Friday Night Fights. Back on Fox Sports after the break.
Last card, okay, then given to the ringside officials. Visa card to the ring announcer or our timekeepers, Crystal Tower. The Visa card, sea blue, debit Visa. It's been handed into ringside in the red corner. Coming back next, it's Michael the Hammer Hermann from South Australia. And the fighting cowboy, Dwight Richie. That's next. I'm right over to the very local sports, Simmons Homes. Here at the Melbourne Pavilion. And not a spare seat in the house. This is Brian Ramatula's 27th big promotion. Now winning world champ Barry Michael. He did a mighty job at last night's big amateur night. Steve Smoke was ready to rumble. We're going to say that because we don't borrow Michael Buffer. But actually that was created by Drew Indy Brown. He created the first get ready to rumble. Michael Buffer borrowed it. Steve. He worked with Michael Buffer. Jimmy Lennon's been in Australia 2 or 3 times. Bobby Sheridan. Alvin McKenna Sr. I worked with Jeff Harding and Dennis Henry. Also Lawrence Cole was referee here. Robert Bird, referee here at this pavilion. welcome in the 6 rounds of interstate middleweight boxing from Adelaide, South Australia, Michael the Hammer Hermann. The fighting cowboy from Victoria's Goulburn Valley, Dwight Richie. He's coming to centre ring with Richmond Tigers, tough man Jake King. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. 6 rounds of interstate middleweight boxing on O'Brien Armatruda, Barry Michael, Simmons Holmes. Fight spectacular at the Melbourne Pavilion. Would you welcome to the blue corner from Kidman Park, South Australia. Corner team, Rod Davis and Ricky Elliott. He was a 2-time South Australian amateur welterweight champion in professional boxing. 3 bouts, 2 wins, 1 loss, 1 by knockout at 70.20 kilograms. Black trunks with white trim. Would you welcome Adelaide's Michael the Hammer Hermann. And across the ring, the red corner with Jake King joining David Hegarty from Shepparton in Victoria's Goulburn Valley. VAR Hoppers Crossing in Melbourne's West from Team Destruction, formerly held Victorian Middleweight Championship in professional boxing. A perfect 3 out of 3. But in reality, due to a technicality, it's really 7 out of 7. At 69.65 kilograms, ladies and gentlemen, they call him the Fighting Cowboy, Dwight Richie. Wearing red trunks with white trim. Referee Malcolm Bullner, Tony Moretta, Samantha Bullner, Dale Westerman. Malcolm, have you cleaned yourself up? You have.
Dwight, Michael, welcome to centering, gentlemen. Let's have a good, clean fight and obey my instructions all the time. May the best man win. Come on, fighting at the bells. Go back to your corners now. Shake hands, both of you. Shake hands. Good luck.
Dwight Richie. 3 fights, 3 wins. In reality, as Howard said, 7 fights, 7 wins. 4 were made no contest because the Victorian Boxing Board of Control found out that this young man was under the legal limit of 18 years of age for his first 4 fights. So officially, the records were taken away.
Brian, you ready?
The Fighting Cowboy, Dwight Richie. Last fight. 8-rounder with big bad Leroy Brown in what was a war. In the black and white trunks, it is Michael Hermann from Kidman Park in South Australia. Dwight Richie is in the red and white, changing levels nicely, doubling the left hand.
He's got the real baby face about him, Dwight Richie.
Don't be fooled.
The short Oscar De La Hoya style trunks. Red and white for Dwight Richie.
He's a big junior middleweight,
isn't he?
Fighting at middle tonight, as we said. Hermann cutting off the ring nicely. That's Hermann in the black and white.
Really been looking forward to having a look at Dwight Richie. There's been big raps on him early on. Oh, as he takes some good shots there from Hermann.
He's walked into 2 big shots there and a wild swing from Michael Hermann. 4th fight for Hermann. He's already fought in 3 different states as a professional.
I like his balance of Michael Hermann. He sits down nice and tidy, very even.
Just creating a little bit of space for himself there, Dwight Richie. Doubling up with the left hand, pushing forward. Forcing Hermann to move back and right.
As we have a look at the contrast in the balance and footwork of both fighters. And Hermann's balance down more on the back foot, and Dwight Richie more on the front foot.
On the front foot, on the toes.
There for mine, if I look at that, I see Dwight Richie may lose a little bit of power, may reach a little bit more and tip forward a little bit.
However, he's going to be able to move side to side a little easier than perhaps what Michael Hermann being flat-footed will.
He'll have a bit more speed around the ring, will Dwight Richie. Good fast hands from Richie. Oh, right hand from Richie, taken well by Hermann.
Almost an old school stance, isn't it, from Dwight Richie, with the hands almost one in front of the other?
It really is, even from his feet to his hands up the top. Very old school. Trunks included.
Pushes across to his left. Cut off nicely by Hermann in the final seconds of the opening round. This a more genuine feeling out process as opposed to what we've seen in our first two fights of the evening. Hermann walked into one late. Could be enough to tip the round two.
One of the best right uppercuts you will see.
Okay, so be smart. 3, 2 breaths, deep breath. Okay, you've got to follow up there with that left hook. Look for the right hand, left hook too. Okay.
Let's have a look at the opening round. And as we said, it was a feeling out process until this. Dwight Richie with the right uppercut. Look at it. Flush on the chin of Hermann.
A nice little fake with the left hand as he stepped in with that left foot.
I think referee Malcolm Bourne is saying no knockdown.
Round two.
Round number two at middleweight. Just under 73 kilograms, the limit. Michael Hermann in the black and white, Dwight Richie in the red and white. Hermann down, final second of that opening round. Semi and main event still to come. Blake Capparello, Robert Berridge. Australia versus New Zealand is next. Neither man has been beaten before. And our main event tonight for the IBO Super Featherweight Championship of the World, Wild Will Tomlinson in title defense #1 against the tough Mexican Daniel Ruiz.
Look at the way Dwight Richie tucks that chin into his shoulder. Very clever for a man so young.
Richie backs out of there. And again, as he did in the opening round, Michael Hermann, despite the fact it is just pro fight number 4, looks to carry himself with far more experience. Very good at cutting off, blocking off the ring.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing, the way he's moving around the ring.
Last fought in March of this year, a 6-round points victory over Ben Capps. Circling around to his right and changing direction is Richie. Impressed with the composure of this young man so far.
Yeah, myself as well. Very composed young man.
17 centimetre reach advantage to the man in red and white trunks.
I think Hermann's got to give him a bit more to look at. He's got to put that jab out a little bit more. Even if it's not there to score, exactly like that. But that backed up Dwight Richie, made him reset. Instead of just sitting there and letting Richie tee off, although not much is getting through, but still Richie seems to be working his way wherever he wants to. That's good work from Hermann.
It was a real rush, wasn't it, from Michael Hermann? Exploded middle of the ring with hands and feet pushing his opponent back into the corner.
But it took Richie out of his comfort zone.
Absolutely. Richie looking for that right uppercut again.
He's hurt bad.
And Hermann is struggling. He's dizzy. Somehow he's standing, but for how much longer, I don't know.
Bring it up. Okay, box.
I think you'll find Richie caught him on the temple once again.
Hermann back to the ropes. Richie looking for the one big bomb. Hermann fights out.
Oh, what a rough and tumble round. Come on.
Those boys having a real crack late.
Half time in the AFL Collingwood, 52, leads Geelong 41.
He's only catching you because you hesitated.
Half time in the AFL.
Okay? He doesn't like the pressure, Michael. Do you hear me, son? Okay? When you hesitate, he goes. Okay? Just relax.
So we'll have a look at the low blow from Richie. He lets a barrage go on Hermann, who fires back. Credit to him.
Both boys just wailing away at the end of the round. Dwight Richie previously lived and trained with Keith Ellis. This is his first fight with new trainer Dave Hegarty. Good young prospect. His father Darcy was the main event fighter. Generation gone by.
Very confident young kid. I saw him walk back to the corner and give the ring card girls a little nod and a little hello. You don't see that too often in the professional ranks. Very confident.
Wins over Leroy Brown, Benny Costello.
Don't hang in there. Get him free.
Two big names to have victories over the embryo stages of his career.
This guy brings a lot of things so different that we're used to seeing in this day and age, but he's so effective, Dwight Richie.
Really pushes out that stiff jab, doesn't he?
It's like he's got 5 different men inside him, 5 different personalities, depending which way he wants to box. A real credit to him at such a young age.
Only 9 amateur fights. He's still very much learning his craft, only 20 years of age, as we said. 2-punch combination from Richie, fighting cowboy. There is a lineup of junior middleweights and middleweights around Australia that many would like to see Dwight in with over the course of the next couple of years as his and their careers mature.
If I'm a fight fan, and it probably won't happen early on in their career, but I tell you what, Rocky Jerky versus Dwight Richie, mouth-watering.
Trying to utilise that 7 centimetres in reach. Throwing the punch, not moving the feet, and as a result, he was in a vulnerable position. Final minute of round number 3.
That's what I was talking about with Hermann. You see Richie just pops that jab out, nothing on it, but he just keeps giving Hermann something to look at the whole time. Then he'll change his height, change his distance, pop the jab, and that's what you want to see. Then you'll be able to get those shots off. Your opponent really struggles with what he's got to do himself then.
20 seconds to go in the round. We said this was originally scheduled as a junior middleweight contest, but weighing just over was Michael Hermann at 70.2 kilos, Dwight at 69.65, 0.2 of a kilo under the limit. Again, that right uppercut of Dwight Richie is a punch of note. So we can establish at this point in his career and at the tender age of 20, Dwight Richie is a genuine junior middleweight competitor. So let's take a look now at the junior middleweight rankings as they stand in Australia at the moment. And Tyrone Tongia is on top of the heap. Frank Laporto, Yao Yi Ma, Daniel Dawson, James Giltro, Pat Rouleau, and Craig Hill Jr. They are your Super 7 at 69.85 kilos.
You know what I mean? So, because he'll throw 2 punches and stop and jump straight back on you. You know why you can do that? Because your feet are fittable. Alright? So let's pick up the pace now, okay?
Seconds out as we approach round 4.
We move into second half of the fight. Middleweight, round number 4 of 6.
Get on down, Fritz. Get on, Fritz. Don't hold it. Don't hold it back. Come on. Let him go.
Of course, our main event is for the IBO World Title in the super featherweight division. We've previously had 4 world champions at 130 pounds. Gary Sinclair, Robbie Peden, Lester Ellis and Barry Michael. And the 2 Victorians are both here in the building, Lester and Barry. And of course, famously fought in the southern capital.
Better keep them away.
In the 80s.
Keep them apart from each other tonight.
One down, 2 remain in the 4th round. Dominant punching, dominant movement from Dwight Richie in the red and white. The aggression of Michael Hermann has to be admired.
He's still there, he's still trying. He can't keep up at the moment with the speed of Dwight Richie, but that's exactly what he's got to do. Go in behind the jab and look for that right hand to go over the top.
Trying to establish that left hand as Richie here in round number 4. Punches in bunches for both. Isn't he relaxed for a 20-year-old Dwight Richie?
Extremely.
Most AFL footy clubs represented here tonight. There's some State of Origin superstars in the crowd as well. Of course, State of Origin 1 next Wednesday night down here at Etihad Stadium.
Who are you backing, Andy?
Let's talk boxing. As a New South Welshman, it's been a difficult 6 years.
You are living in Queensland now, though?
Yeah.
Back to the action in the ring.
45 seconds remaining in the round.
Richie back on the jab. Nice movement from Dwight Richie.
Doubled up the left and then went to go straight with the right hand. A great success in round number 2. Through 2 uppercuts. Scored on both occasions, did Dwight Richie.
Yeah, good work from Michael Hermann. That's where he needs to keep Richie.
Crossover defence here from Dwight Richie, who sees the punches, catches the punches, and then throws an uppercut right in the middle of it.
Welcome the players from New South Wales and Queensland in Melbourne for the State of Origin next Wednesday night. Good luck, guys. Queensland on top in recent years. Queensland, New South Wales.
Now you gotta listen to me. Got me? Take a big deep breath. Think of all the training we do. I need you to put pressure on him. Okay? Pressure, pressure, pressure. Not a backward step, Michael.
We have a look at the action from round number 4. What's the crossover defence from Dwight Richie? And the counter shots coming through. Oh, look at that. Class work from Dwight Richie.
You gotta go out there and you have to take this. Okay? You gotta take this fight, mate. Okay? Go and get it!
Thank you, Chris. Seconds out, round 5.
Round number 5 coming your way. What has been another great year of Aussie boxing.
Nice work from Richie. Nothing on it, but making Hermann have a look and see what's standing in front of him. As Hermann tries to back Richie up again.
Done a very good job of crowding Dwight Richie, limiting his space. And if not limiting his space, making Richie really fight for his space.
That's right, yeah. Making him work for it.
Two guys standing there, eyes locked on one another, just waiting for the first to throw. A lot of the time you get the impression Hermann is happy to play the countering role, but that also appears to be when Dwight Richie is at his best.
Oh, both boys having success with the left hook. That's right, Dwight Richie shows, like I said, it's like he's got a few different men in that body. He can box on the inside, box on the outside, cross over the fence, roll the shoulder, a little bit of everything.
Former Victorian middleweight champion. Dwight Richie, bomb there. Good
Richie,
shot from Hermann.
Yeah, Richie went for the uppercut, but it was the overhand right from Hermann, his best punch of the fight.
Keeping them straight, keeping them neat, which is equally as important, is Richie. Still up on his toes, bouncing around the middle portion of the ring. Well balanced young athlete, isn't he?
Certainly is. So we have a look at the footwork of Dwight Richie, and something a little different. His feet are very close together, and as you look at Michael Hermann, whose feet are a little bit further apart, usually gives you that better balance. But it works for Dwight Richie, so why change it if it's not broken?
Right on 6 foot is Dwight Richie, 183 centimetres. So again, going back to the junior middleweight division, there's a whole heap of this young lad.
Yeah, real big light middleweight.
Resetting back in the middle of the ring. Goes to the body on his initial shot in the final 30 seconds of round number 5. He's using single jabs here as Richie had the idea of going straight to the body. You got the feeling that Michael Hermann knew exactly what was coming.
That's round 5.
Some words here between boxer and trainer.
Look at me. Hey, listen to me. Listen to me. We need a big rally.
Keep it cool. Keep it cool. You don't need to do nothing soon. You're winning the fight. Get on the back, right? Don't even do that again. All right.
Check out the action from round number 5. And it was Richie going for the uppercut and Hermann going for the right hand. Nice work from Michael Hermann on that occasion.
Seconds out, 6th and final round.
6th and final round coming your way on bout number 3 of 5. A live card anyway. 3 preliminaries that kicked off at 6:30 here tonight. Victorious were Kane Watts, Brett W. Smith, and we had a majority draw. Alan J. Trinicao and Camille Balla on debut. Doubling up with the left hand, Richie, first high, second low. Up next, Blake Capparello and Robert Berridge, both undefeated fighters in our semi-main event, Adelaide heavyweight. Our main event, super featherweight for the IBO title, Daniel Ruiz from Mexico, the challenger, Will Tomlinson from Australia, the champion.
A couple of real good battles coming up. Dwight Richie showing his skills again as he gets chopped with the right hook from Hermann. Seems to spur on Richie, who comes forward.
Nice glove work from Richie, nice body movement.
Real good skills.
To watch Dwight Richie is to be able to appreciate the angles that he's coming from and the fact that he's creating those angles.
That's right, yep.
Over the top came Hermann, but very much at this point in time just throwing single shots, probably 3-1, 4-1. The punches are in favour of Dwight Richie, who is now going headhunting and chasing Michael Hermann. He now rips to the body because Hermann's a little vague up high.
Yeah, he certainly senses the blood and goes in for the kill, does Richie, but he's got to be careful he doesn't walk into one shot of his own as Hermann threw his shots when he propped.
He's an accumulator, Dwight Richie. His record suggests that. 3 fights, 3 wins, but he's gone 24 rounds, 8 rounds on each occasion.
Yep.
Again, he's going the distance. It appears tonight against the South Australian.
Good shots from Richie. As he walks down Hermann. Everything comes off that jab. I love it from Dwight Richie. Good work from Hermann.
Going to the body here is Dwight.
Oh, keep working, keep working, keep working.
Didn't like that, Richie. Marches across the ring with 10 seconds remaining, and both boys just let it all go. The final couple of seconds, and they end with a smile on their face and an embrace. Dwight Richie.
Final round, great attack from Dwight Richie. And there's some of the success from Hermann as he wails away. Richie comes firing back. Great way to end a great fight.
Howard Lee waiting, centering. He has the numbers.
Not yet.
Not yet. In fact, he doesn't. The Victorian Board of Control doing the maths here. The maths, they are finally in. And the Fighting Cowboy, confident of victory.
Yes.
Let's make it official.
My word, we will. Tony Moretta had it 60-55. Brian Butler 60-52. Samantha Bullner much closer. 58-56. Unanimous points winner. Red corner, the Cowboy, Dwight Richie.
Dwight Richie victorious via unanimous points decision, but a real spread on the 3 judges' scorecards. Our congratulations to Dwight. Also our congratulations to Michael. The 2 boys put on a good show. Still to come, our semi and main event of the evening. Robert Berridge and Blake Capparello go blow for blow and stand toe-to-toe. They are up next at light heavyweight. Then our main event is Daniel Ruiz challenging Wild Will Tomlinson for the RBO Super Featherweight Championship of the World. That's still to come right here on Fox Sports Friday Night Fights.
Ladies and gentlemen, when you watch the screen...
We went the distance at middleweight between Michael Hermann from South Australia and Victoria's Dwight Richie. 18 minutes the journey and a unanimous points decision to the Cowboy Dwight Richie. He remains undefeated. Light heavyweight, we are up next. Two undefeated boxers, one from Australia, one from New Zealand. Robert Berridge once again has flown across the Tasman to be here with us. 16 fights, 15 victories, 11 devastating knockouts. He takes on the bomber, Blake Capparello, 12 fights, 11 wins. He too has plenty of KOs on his resume. Just 2 years separates the two, but Capparello boasts a height and reach advantage. Height by 9 centimetres, reach by 10, and absolutely nothing on the scale. Howard Lee, it is semi-main event time.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Would you welcome in this match between unbeaten New Zealand and Australian light heavyweights, two southpaws. Would you welcome in the blue corner from Northcote, New Zealand, via Albany, New Zealand, the Butcher, Robert from Essendon, Victoria, ladies and gentlemen, bomber Blake Capparello. Ladies and gentlemen, Brian Armadura, Barry Michael Sports welcome you to their semi-main event. 10 rounds of international light heavyweight boxing. 2 unbeaten southpaws. It's Aussies versus Kiwis. Here we go. In the blue corner from Northcote, New Zealand via Albany, New Zealand. Trainer-manager Vasco Kovacevic. 16 fights, 15 wins, 1 draw, 11 inside the distance. Ladies and gentlemen, at 79.38 kilograms, black trunks with a touch of white, they call him the Kiwi Butcher, Robert Berridge. Across the ring in the red corner was Sam Lebrun, the coach, reigning Australian light heavyweight champion. 12 fights, 11 wins, 1 draw, 5 wins by knockout. Coming off a big win over American boxer Kevin Ingle in March at 79.30 kilograms, dubbed by Andy Raymond as the Bomber. Ladies and gentlemen, Bomber Blake Capparello. Referee once again Malcolm Mulder. Judges Brian Butler, Dale Westerman, Tony Moretta. Here we go. 10 rounds, unbeaten fighters.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Let's have a good, clean fight and obey my instructions at all times. Shake hands now. Come on, fighting at the bell. May the best man win. Good luck.
Plenty of respect at the stare down. You wouldn't expect anything less from these two elite level athletes. Blake Capparello, so much talent. At just 25 years of age. Robert Berridge, as hard as they come, standing across the ring. He's just 27. Both of the men are left-handers. They're southpaw fighters. Which means right foot forward, right hand forward. We've seen Blake Capparello in particular with some left-handers before. It is Capparello in the red and black, Berridge in the straight black. Two guys with wide stance, really anchor themselves down, load up with the power on the punches. Berridge with a little right cross there caught the attention over the glove of Capparello. Kiwi walks into one and they have started like it's round number 7.
Watch the back of the head. Break, lane. Step back. Don't punch. Keep your head up, leg. Watch the back of the head. Box.
Capparello having success with that left hand early. The success that he had with Michael Bolling. And again, lands the left hand on Berridge.
Big shot from Blake Capparello. 12 fights, 11 wins, 1 draw. That was an Aussie title fight over 10 rounds with Shane McConville early in his career.
See, the left eye of Capparello is a little bit marked up.
Certainly is. He's walked into one there as Berridge. Almost a slapping left hand there initially.
It's the dangerous one, the one that put Latoa away. The right hook from Capparello.
Light heavyweight division, 79.38 kilos, 200 pounds or 12 stone 7. Seen Berridge 2 occasions, Kerry Foley and Trent Broadhurst. Likes to initiate, but is also, depending on where the fight is and how the fight's going, really loves to counterbox.
Yeah, I had a chat to him out the back and he said he's happy to oblige to knock these Aussies over, so he reckons he's fair chance of doing the same tonight, but I reckon Blake Capparello thinks something different.
Capparello undeniably the favourite coming into this one.
He's a genuine big light heavyweight, Capparello. Berridge, although he carries the power of a light heavyweight, a little bit shorter.
187 centimetres in height, Blake Capparello. 6'1.5", or thereabouts, in the old language. Out of respect, Capparello has given up ring room here and launches himself forward to Berridge. A very popular young figure in the boxing and sporting community down here, Blake Capparello. Goes about his business with minimal fuss. Back to the corner. Capparello. A limited amateur career of only 9 fights. He's now in his 13th as a professional. And it is Capparello in the red and black. Berridge in the black.
I love the tactics of it. If we can have a look at the footwork of this, you see Berridge trying to work around to the left, and Capparello steps to his right to try and open up that line so he can land that left hand down the middle. Berridge very smart, taking it off Blake Capparello.
Berridge missed with the right, tried to overcorrect with that left hand. Capparello saw it coming.
Don't hang in there.
Test of strength here in the middle. Neither guy wanting to give an inch.
The old short trunks may be coming back in. New fashion maybe. Saw it in Richie and now we see it in Berridge. The Butcher.
Great Jorge Paez brought in the long trunks going back to the late 80s, mid-late 80s.
Very rare. Berridge just seems to be struggling a little bit with distance, and that comes with the length of the arms of Blake Capparello.
Conceding 10 centimetres in reach is the New Zealander.
You see Berridge looking for that same shot that he put Trent Broadhurst away. As the opponent throws that shot, he looks to come straight back over with that left hand. He's fell short a few times on Capparello at the moment.
Very good countering, looping left hand, and he does so with plenty of power, but Capparello catches the Butcher. Berridge decides to step away. Nicely moved out of the way there, and quickly moved out of the way did Berridge.
Oh! Good left hand from Capparello. Took it well, Berridge. This is where I find Capparello setting traps, although Berridge has the success with that shot.
How much of Blake Capparello did he get there? Skewered the angle of the punch anyway. Capparello's swollen up on the left-hand side of his face. Moving around to his left, away from Robert's biggest punch.
Oh! Right hook again from Robbie Berridge as he ducks under some shots of Capparello.
You do get the feeling, however this one ends, it's not going to end on the judges' scorecards.
Somebody's going on their backside, I think.
Round two.
Round two is in the books. We are scheduled for 10.
Sometimes show it and then step to the side. See what he does. How are you feeling? Doing real well. Nice deep breaths.
When you step in your right hook, Robbie, it's working.
Open up. Want to close? Right. Okay, that's real good. Much better.
The second round, a little bit of feeling out. They got a little bit rough. They got a little bit tight. I think there's a few more levels to go just yet. As Berridge has some success with the right hook.
Make sure you keep your right up. Fucking plant that left in space.
Seconds out as we approach round three.
Round number three in our semi-main event. If you want to keep up to date on what is happening on Fox Sports and Friday night fights, and you're a member of the social media crew, jump on Twitter. Join in the conversation. Follow me and we'll answer all your questions and keep you up to date on what's happening. Hashtag OzBoxing. We know the entire crew, Daz Gunn and everyone enjoying tonight's action.
Berridge digs him in.
Watch those heads. Watch those heads. Watch your heads.
Berridge Berridge trying to go around the side of the elbows there of Blake Capparello.
You won't get any closer to the action
Don't
than
hang in there.
that.
Come on, get your arms free. Get your arms free. Get up free and keep walking. Come on, get up free. Keep walking. Watch your head. Watch your head. Break. Watch your head when you're getting close there. Box.
Okay, Malcolm Bullner very busy with what he's doing and what he's trying to achieve here. The boys launch into their work. Capparello with a three-punch combination, then steps back out, maintaining his distance, maintaining his range.
That's one of Capparello's best attributes. He just can control the distance and he knows exactly where he is the whole time. Berridge has got that right hook through a few occasions now.
Get up free. Don't hang in there.
Will certainly give Blake something to think about. No doubt Roberts content at the moment to keep going with that right, keep going with that right, and then use the big left hand as his weapon of choice. He looks as in good a nick as we've seen him, Robert Berridge, on his 3 trips to Australia.
He looks excellent at the moment. He's very confident out the back, and if it keeps going the way it's going, I think we'll find Blake Capparello start to get a little frustrated. He can't find Rob Berridge, and Blake Capparello's not used to that.
Blake 12 fights, a combined 87 rounds. Robert Berridge 16 fights, but combining just for 53 rounds. Average of just over 3 and a bit rounds per fight. So he is the business, isn't he?
Certainly
and the
is.
business early.
Yeah. You've got both guys got good knockout power, and the smaller Cleto Ray's gloves makes it even more interesting.
Oh, wild shot there from Berridge, left himself open.
Good, but Blake Capparello seemed to hurt his shoulder then.
Don't hang in there.
That's spelled round 3. Scheduled for 10.
3 down, 7 remain potentially.
Deep breaths for me. Nice deep breaths. Deep breaths, mate. All right, we're keeping those hands up. I want to see a long fight followed.
We have a look at Trent Broadhurst with Rob Berridge. That's the first knockdown. Here we go. Have a look at the second knockdown from Berridge. Followed the left hand straight over the top of Trent.
Surprise victory for Robert Berridge in October of last year.
What's the back leg of Broadhurst on the second one? We get to have a look at it. Oh, bad night at the office for our team. Here we go. What's the back leg? Oh, how that stayed together, I don't know.
Yeah, not quite sure.
Round 4.
Round number 4 coming your way on Friday Night Fights, our semi-main event between Robert Berridge and Blake Capparello.
Good combination to start the round from Berridge. Success with the right hook. Capparello firing back with 3-punch combination.
Missing there was Capparello, going over the top of the right shoulder of Robert Berridge, the lead shoulder. Element of frustration with both guys here. It's not happening as naturally, as quickly, as easily as either would like.
Yeah, you see Blake just say something to the referee there. When you start to, ask questions to the referee or complain to the referee, you know that things aren't running smooth. You never see a fighter who's well and truly on top. They never say anything to the referee.
Berridge really good side-to-side movement with that upper body, keeping Capparello guessing. Blake tries to spin there and create an angle, but Berridge was aware of the plan and got out of there quickly.
That's the left hand that Capparello's looking for. He puts the jab out there, draws you on, then pops that left hand straight over the top.
Going just out of range was the Butcher, who debuted all the way back in April 2009 with a first round KO over Royden Lee at the AVA Stadium in Auckland, New Zealand. Edging forward.
Tough rounds to score for the judges these last couple.
And our 3 ringside judges are Tony Moretta, Dale Westerman and Brian Butler.
Brian Butler got a couple of hats on tonight, was in the corner earlier on.
Berridge swings wildly with the lead left hand there.
Capparello tries to fire back with the left uppercut. Both guys falling short.
Both guys got a long arc, a long and a wide arc with that left hand shot they throw.
Yeah, certainly, and hence why they got so many knockouts on their record.
Break clean, come on, get on free.
Keeping order is Malcolm Bullner. Nice shot from Capparello, the right hand found home. Left hand's the power hand.
Oh, the dangerous shot from Capparello.
Fatigue is going to be perhaps the determining factor in this as the fight goes on.
Let's have a look at what round number 4 produced. That was the shot where both fighters fell short, attempting different punches. Both guys just haven't found that range or found that target for real clean shots at the moment.
The battle for Australasian light heavyweight supremacy continues between Robert Berridge and Blake Capparello. Number 1 Aussie and number 1 Kiwi. The Australian in the red and the black, and New Zealander in the straight black. Both left-handers.
Rounds 1 and 2, both corners very calm. Both got good relationships, boxer and trainer, but you can just start to sense a little bit of urgency coming into both corners. Knowing we're getting into round 5 and no one's really taking control of this fight. It's up for grabs.
Blake Capparello with victories over Joel Casey, who we saw earlier in the night. Kane McKay, Michael Bolling, Michael Van Nimwegen, Kevin Engel, and also recent IBF top 15er, Joseph Quajo. Some big scalps in just 12 fights.
Yeah, he has certainly, I guess what we say at the start of the fight, a feeling out process. He certainly didn't feel his way into the professional ranks. Blake Capparello. That's why he's so entertaining to watch.
Shortening up the distance between his feet. There was Robert Berridge, and looked like he was going to launch his way into Capparello's zone.
Yeah, it looked like he tried to make a different line to come in, and I like it. He's trying to give Capparello something different. There it is again, trying to open up a different line. Tactics of lefty versus lefty.
Capparello now trying to crowd Berridge for a little bit of room here. Keeping him back against the ropes. As Berridge moves left, Capparello moves with him.
Yeah, tries to take that centre line off him. What they're trying to do there is open up that centre line so that you get that left hand straight down the pipe. But as you go with them, the only thing there really is the jab. That power hand's not there.
2 minutes down, 1 minute remains. Round number 5.
Very tactical fight at the moment.
Oh, Berridge tagged there. Has Capparello in his own corner. Doesn't want to let him out. Oh, Blake countering nicely and creating his own space. Round arm shots from the young man from Albany, New Zealand. A little straighter of the punches from Capparello.
Watch your head, watch your head. Don't hang in there, keep walking.
Starting to find a bit more action here in the centre ring at the moment.
Capparello over the top, finishing off the combination nicely. Both happy to engage here late in round number 5.
Break, don't punch. Break, step back. Box. Break.
That's about round 5.
Blue. Take some nice deep breaths. Flood that body in and out. How you feeling? Doing real good, mate. Okay, I want you to start bringing that 4 out the side or the 2 to the body after that long shot. Just be careful of that long shot. He's looking for that left hand over the top. Bit of water. Open up. Close 2
Well, round number 5 started to heat up a little bit.
Nice 2 sprays. 1, 2.
Yeah, the tempo certainly lifted, didn't it?
Yeah, towards the end of the round, and I think it was Capparello who thought, I've got to change something. It's not working what's going on for the first part of this fight. I've got to change it. Maybe try walk Berridge down a little like he did there.
Seconds out.
The second half of the fight, 5 in the books and 5 remain. This is round number 6 at 79.38 kilograms. Our semi-main event for the evening. Up next, the RBO's Super Featherweight Championship of the World. Will Tomlinson, the champion, our man, up against tough Mexican Daniel Ruiz, a man who in years is younger but experience more mature.
Now we're starting to see some action. Capparello starts coming forward, pressing the action.
Watch your head. Don't hold. Come on, don't hold. Keep punching. Come on, keep working. Okay, bring it up. Don't punch.
Malcolm Bullner had no option there but to go in and separate the two. Berridge wailing away here. Really loading up with that one big shot as Robert Berridge. Blake Capparello seemingly more content to continue to throw punches in numbers. There's an illustration of that.
Yeah, Berridge very open to the body, and Capparello exposed that just then.
Don't hang it there. Keep working there. Keep working.
I think it's a good thing for Capparello here in round number 6. Maybe stay where he is, but start to dig him to the body.
Pushes Berridge across the ring, but the Kiwi keeps firing.
Come on, keep working there. Keep working. Don't hold. Don't hang in there.
The Butcher back on the front foot, backs Capparello up to the rope. Oh, drives a big one.
That was a driving shot.
Keep punching. Come on, we're on 3.
Looking for the big one there was Robert Berridge with Capparello back against the ropes. Now Blake back in a better position.
Watch your heads. Watch your heads. Now keep working there. Come on, keep working.
Just over the 30-second mark remaining in round number 6. Capparello with the short punches, but really nothing of note in these exchanges.
He's probably a bit big to be... Oh, there's the best shot of the fight. The left hand from Capparello.
Don't hang it there. Don't hang it up. Don't hang it there.
Just in the distance where Blake can't get the leverage to land those better shots, those bigger shots, I should say, where for Berridge, it's his cup of tea.
Berridge wore another left hand from Blake Capparello there. Final seconds. In fact, the bell sounds at the end of round number 6. Most certainly a Capparello round.
Breaking him
count, mate. He's going to go.
Spoke about the left hand from Capparello. Well, let's have a look at it. There it was, flush on the button of Robbie Berridge, the butcher, who took it well. From a different angle, flush.
Work up the middle. Don't try and watch your legs.
Seconds out, round 7.
They continue on at light heavyweight. The job not done. Round number 7 in our semi-main event. Berridge just shuffling forward here. Trying to cut off the ring and dominate, as Chris said earlier, that centre line as they collide.
Come on, keep working there, keep working. Don't hang in there, come on.
You remember back to 1988 and the Seoul Olympics. The most controversial figure from those games is here in the crowd tonight, Ben Johnson.
Ben Johnson, the Canadian, stripped of the gold, I think, from memory.
Absolutely.
Little head clash there earlier, and Berridge. Oh, as Berridge eats a left hand from Capparello.
Another good shot from Blake.
Oh, bit of a slip.
Yeah, that was a genuine slip on the way in.
A little bit of a nick under the right eye of Berridge, nothing major, but caught the top right-hand forehead of Capparello earlier on in this round. Nice left hand from Berridge as he puts Capparello on the back foot in the corner, the neutral corner.
Chance to open up here for the Butcher. Butcher Berridge. Left hand cocked, looking to create the angle.
Well, Butcher's got to be careful with his hands there because Capparello's setting the trap.
Watching for the left hook of Blake Capparello as the counter. No, Robert Berridge, he says, I tried.
Yeah.
I tried and I couldn't. Minute to go in round number 7.
Don't hang in there, come on, get it free, get it free.
All his heads come together once again.
You're both at forward. Keep working.
Nothing intentional about the head clashes we've seen, nothing at all.
No, definitely not, and well handled by Malcolm Bullner there. Telling both fighters, both at fault, and it's just the way the fight's going. Both guys looking for that shot.
Don't hang in there, come, get it free, get it free, get it free.
Again, a look of frustration on the face of Blake Capparello.
Watch those heads, watch those heads.
Changing levels here, Capparello first to the body, then goes to the head.
I'd like to see Capparello set himself a little bit more there instead of pushing him close and really rip those body shots in.
Don't hang in there, Brett, come on, get it free. Brett, clean, don't punch. Come on, you have to punch, not all day.
Good exchange from Blake Capparello, but good defence from Robbie Berridge.
Not one just yet.
Hands up, buddy. 9 minutes, I want those fucking hands up. Not a movement. You're doing what you're supposed to do.
Let's have a look at what went on in the 7th. Oh, the left hand from Capparello comes off the line, brings the body weight to the right, sends the left hand straight over the top. A little bit of water in the Blake Capparello corner, sends Berridge to the canvas.
Throwing the big bombs at the end of the round.
Berridge just gives him the stare down.
Deep breaths. Now's the time to step that foot. You know what we're doing.
Seconds out, we approach round 8.
Seconds out.
We continue round number 8. Blake Capparello in the red and the black. Robert Berridge in the black. And not a spare seat here at the Pavilion tonight. Berridge launches himself into his work there, but
Come on, Blake.
the step was a little too big. The hands didn't follow.
You're claiming. Box.
Oh, that's the dangerous part for Robbie Berridge. When Capparello puts his head down, he really loses vision, does Capparello. But what it does is brings Berridge's hands down, and Capparello sends these hooks that come over the top, and they keep catching Robbie Berridge.
Two very strong southpaw boxers.
Oh, nice work from Capparello.
16 combined knockouts between the two in 28 combined fights. Power's there.
Will Capparello be the first Aussie to stay on his feet throughout the whole fight against Robbie Berridge?
Their victories over Kerry Foley and Trent Broadhurst, returning from an injured hand. We hope to see Trent soon.
Berridge booked a fight in June 3 on Ace Boxing Promotions up in Brisbane, but broke his hand, sparring left hook Jared Fletcher. Left jab.
Trying to create an illusion here at distance, Blake Capparello, when he leans into Robert Berridge. It's where he wants to play the counter. He's showing Berridge's chin.
He's got the tricks, Capparello. Should be a magician the way he sets you up. Think you got him and then bang. Fast bowling and a little tower. Michael Van Den Weegen. And there he looks for it again and does Capparello, but the success is with Robbie Berridge that time.
Yeah, Berridge with a really powerful shot. And realising he had to get out of there, Blake Capparello did exactly that.
It'll be really interesting to see how they score this. A few fights earlier, I thought, you know, Dwight, Richie and Brad Pitt pretty comfortably through the fight, but a couple of judges had them pretty close. So here on a real tight card, be interesting to see how they score this.
Oh, there's a shot from Robert Berridge. Taken a lot on the glove, but there was plenty on it. Capparello responds with a two-punch combination of his own. Heavy hands are wearing down these two athletes.
In the AFL last quarter, Collingwood lead Geelong by 24 points. Collingwood 4 goals in front of Geelong last quarter AFL.
We're in the light heavyweight division, and this is the way they stand in Australia. A couple of Victorians on the top, Blake Capparello and Manny Vlalis. Mark Flanagan, Benny McCulloch, Joel Casey, we saw in action earlier tonight. Tyrone the Red Dog Jones and Phil Maley, very strong in Queensland at 79.38 kilos.
Another bread.
Seconds out, round 9.
The penultimate round, round number 9 in this 10-round affair.
Clean the corner up, clean the corner up. Dry the corner up, please.
Malcolm Bullman just asking for some extra cleaning in the red corner, excess water. They love him down here, Blake Capparello, but this place is going to go nuts when Will Tomlinson makes his way to centre ring. Tomlinson is up next against Daniel Ruiz in our main event. Berridge with a sense of urgency here.
And this is the furthest Robbie Berridge has gone in his professional boxing career. So we'll get to see what he's got in rounds 9 and 10, if we see him.
He's only been the 8 rounds once. He's in round 9 for the first time.
He seems to be handling it okay, as does Blake Capparello, as both guys have success with the left hand.
They're punching in turns, almost. You have a crack and I'll reply.
Cat and mouse from Capparello.
He did that well, didn't he, Blake?
Yeah.
Again, trying to bring Berridge into his position.
It's been so successful for him, but Berridge has just been up to it tonight. He's certainly shown me something different. I thought Berridge had the punch and that was about it, but he's got an excellent boxing brain on him, does Robbie Berridge, the butcher. Oh, as he has lands some good shots, some good hooks on Capparello.
Most of the bigger punches, the more powerful punches, have been hooks in this one. Both guys with plenty to offer. And I think already you could say with a minute to go in round number 9, both guys would be happy to dance again.
Yeah, definitely.
Try and prove themselves.
Yeah. Who knows, we might see a draw. It'd be destined for a number 2, wouldn't it?
Straight punch from Berridge, but then he wore one from Capparello, who marches across the ring.
And here comes Capparello, the dangerous hooks. Berridge works his way back to centre ring. Very good work from the butcher. Puts Capparello back on the ropes where he wants him.
Oh, big shot. 2-punch combination from Blake Capparello, and it's stunned Robbie Berridge. Capparello stays on the ropes, offering the chance for the Kiwi to have another dig. Ten seconds remain in the round. He went for the home run shot, the final punch of the round. Corner, but not of the ring, because it's the bomber. Blake Capparello in charge at this point in time.
Check out, last time, good luck. Look.
Been fought in great spirits.
As the butcher walks back Capparello again.
Look at the butcher. Butcher looking to make a lamb shank out of Blake Capparello. He wants to cut him in half, but Capparello will have none of it from the ropes. Oh, sneaking around the gloves there, Berridge. Capparello with the counter punching.
Nice work here from Robbie Berridge, but equal work from Blake Capparello. What will the judges look at here? Will they look at the aggression of Robbie Berridge or the counter work from Blake Capparello? As there's a bit of claret on the left ear of Robbie Berridge. I'm not sure where it's coming from.
Both men have happily planted the feet and they fire away.
Look at that, the viewers at home are right on top of the action.
Oh, there's the body shot from Berridge. It was a good one too, and Capparello responds in kind. It's the pace of the fight and the intensity of the fight that has lifted in round number 10, the final round, as you would expect.
Nice short uppercut and left hook from Berridge earlier on that. Oh, the chopping right hook from Capparello.
And in some strange way, these two tough guys are enjoying their night at the office.
Capparello seems to have a cut on the left eye. Yes, he does.
Certainly does, just underneath the eyebrow. Only a minute to go though. But Berridge has got a target and he launches the right hand.
10 of these rounds would have been great, guys.
You're not asking too much.
No. Oh!
Capparello from his heels, from the ropes. So strong in this countering position as they fire big shots at one another. They haven't been able to settle it in 9.5 rounds, so they've stepped it up for the final half round at light heavyweight. This is Australia's best versus New Zealand's best. Neither man has suffered a loss in their career until tonight.
Well, maybe.
Countdown is on in our semi-main. Blake Capparello and Rob Berridge have waged war for 30-odd minutes in a Trans-Tasman Classic. Wherever you're watching around Australia on your sports leader Fox Sports, we hope you enjoyed that one. We know you'll remember it.
There's one of the best rounds of boxing, or fighting I should say, that you'll see.
The Capparello corner is confident, so too is the Berridge corner and his supporters.
This is going to be a real close call. Just really depends what the judges were in favour of.
3 ringside judges, Tony Moretta, Brian Butler and Diamond Dale Westerman. They decide the fate of these two here. And in case you are new to the sport, 3 ringside judges, they sit independently on different sides of the ring. So they have different angles, different views, and as a result, a lot of the times, very different numbers.
That's right, a lot of the times you're right. Here we go, round number 10, non-stop action. Either guy didn't have to go far to find each other, right in front of them.
They let it all go in the 10th and final round. Just when we thought they had no more, they did. Plenty happening in the world of boxing over the course of the next month, and you can catch it all on Main Event TV and Fox Sports venues. Sunday the 10th of June and the 17th of June, Manny Pacquiao, Timmy Bradley for the WBO welterweight strap. That is the main event. And what about this for a beauty? Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., Andy Lee for the WBC Middleweight Championship of the World. All that and more coming your way. To all our Foxtel and Ozstar subscribers. Let's go to Howard.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Before we announce the decision, both these men were unbeaten going into this fight. We have a unanimous decision. Judge Tony Moretta had it 97-95. Dale Westerman 99-93. Brian Butler 97-93. Unanimous points winner, red corner, Bomber Blake Capparello.
Blake Capparello victorious. And the Kiwis aren't happy. What a fight. That is our semi-main event in the history books. Up next, Will Tomlinson, Daniel Ruiz for the IBO Super Featherweight Championship of the World. Welcome back to Fox Sports Friday Night Fights. A beauty for our semi-main event, Australia versus New Zealand. Blake Capparello and Robert Berridge. Winner by unanimous points decision, the Bomber. Blake Capparello, 97-95, 99-93, 97-93. Our three judges' scorecards. A full house here at the Pavilion, including a man that's joined me here in commentary, former world champ and Aussie legend, an all-round good fella, Danny Green. Welcome, my friend.
Thanks, mate. Thanks, Andy. Good to be here.
It's enough to get the blood boiling, that last one, and pumping.
Yeah, it's been a really good show. The boys have put on a great show, and obviously the main event to come, Will Tomlinson defending his IBO super featherweight title for the first time. I'm excited to be here as a spectator instead of normally watching him line up on the undercard and watching him on tape after the fight. So I get to see him live, so I'm stoked that he's a standalone main event fighter now, so it's great. I'm really happy with the kid.
Said earlier, the next generation, we always talk about it in sport, but it's not the next generation any longer. They've arrived, and he's one of the leaders of it.
He is definitely, and you see the crowd here, they've all come to watch Will Tomlinson fight. It's a packed house, it's a great crowd, it's a great venue, and I'm really impressed with the show so far, and the best is yet to come, Andy.
Okay, let's take a look at the matchup. Our main event for the IBO Super Featherweight Championship of the World. 12 3-minute rounds, Daniel Ruiz and Will Tomlinson. Very rare in the world of boxing does the younger man have more experience. But that's the case. Ruiz is 3 years younger than Will Tomlinson, but has 13 more fights and also nearing 40 odd professional rounds. The height and reach slightly in favour of the Mexican. The weight we will keep a real eye on. There was reports today that after weighing in at 58.95 kilos last night, that Daniel Ruiz could be anywhere up to 68, 69 kilos, which would be astonishing. 10 kilos in 24 hours. We will wait and see, because Howard Lee, it's time to get the main event boys out.
It certainly is, Andy. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, win this World Championship fight, IBO, International Boxing Organization Super Featherweight Championship. Would you welcome the challenger in the blue corner from Mexico, Daniel Canorito Ruiz. In the red corner, the defending champion, Australia's Wild Will Tomlinson. Please be upstanding in respect of the two national anthems, Mexico and Australia. Here's Tara to sing Advance Australia Fair.
Australians, oh let us rejoice, for we are young and free, with golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is good by sea, our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty, rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains, then let us sing, advance Australia fair.
Ladies and gentlemen, Brian Madrid, Barry Michael, Sports Simmons Holmes, welcome to World Championship Boxing at the Melbourne Pavilion. 12 rounds for the IBO, International Boxing Organisation Super Featherweight Championship of the World. Following the footsteps of great Australian World Super Featherweight champions, including Barry Michael, Robbie Peden, Lester Ellis and Gary St. Clair. Your supervisor, IBO, Phil Austin, Queensland. Introducing the challenger from Sinaloa, Mexico, Coach Fernando Gonzalez, 22 years of age, has held the WBC Latino Super Featherweight Championship at the Mexican Pacific Coast Featherweight Championship. 32 fights, 27 wins, 1 draw, 4 losses, 19 by knockout. At 58.95 kilograms, wearing maroon with green, red and white. Challenger, Mexico's Daniel Canarito Ruiz. And in the red corner, the champion fighting out of Bensdale, East Gippsland, Victoria, via Blacktown Hit Squad, trained at No Contact Gym, St Mary's, New South Wales. Lincoln Hudson, Fidel Turgle. He comes to centre ring with a perfect record. 19 fights, 18 wins, 1 technical draw, 12 wins by knockout. At 58.7 kilograms, making the first defence of his title, which he won in Perth, November 2011. The reigning and defending IBO Super Featherweight champion of the world, Australia's Wild Will Tomlinson. Our referee, ladies and gentlemen, the most distinguished international boxing referee in the world. 174 world championships tonight. Mr. Steve Smoker from New Jersey, USA. Judges Steve Scott, Dunedin, New Zealand. Gary Dean, New South Wales. Adam Height, Queensland. Steve, let's get it on!
Here we go. It has the big fight feel. Will Tomlinson, the champion in title defence, number 1 of his 130-pound IBO belt. In front of a full house. In Melbourne, Daniel Ruiz on the edge of a dream, standing across the ring. It is Tomlinson proudly wearing the Australian flag on his shorts. Ruiz, maroon. If you've seen Will fight before, you know what to expect. If you haven't, get set. It'll be ugly, it'll be fun, it'll be a war, Danny Green.
There'll be some blood, there'll be some action, there'll be some good shots landed. Look, I want to see how good this kid can handle Will's pressure early on.
Danny Green and former national champion Chris McCullen joining me ringside. 12 3-minute rounds the journey.
As I said in the opener, Will's got to be careful of the left hook from Ruiz. It's dangerous, it's long looping. A lot of times that's where the power is. Catch you unaware, Will's got to be very careful. Keep that right hand nice and tight.
Reports today that Ruiz was going to come to the ring heavier than any opponent Will Tomlinson had seen, sparred or even heard of. He does look bigger, but he's not 10 kilos bigger, Danny.
No, I think the size difference isn't a great deal. No. I think Will's put on a fair bit of weight too, and I was with him in the rooms this afternoon. I was in the rooms with him tonight. He's very, very calm, very relaxed, but he knows what's ahead of him. This guy, Mexican's a good fighter, man. He's a tough guy.
Yeah, good boy.
Reasonably square on as the Mexican Ruiz. Tomlinson nice and side on. Shuffling in with the feet and popping out the left hand.
Watch as Will throws that jab. Ruiz looks for that left hook. There it is there.
Ooh.
And once Will drops that right hand, Ruiz will make sure he counters.
Couldn't quite see where the Will landed that right hand.
No punch. No golpe, no golpe.
Steve Smoker loves the action, doesn't he, boys? He loves it.
Loves being down in Australia too, of course. Was here when Will won the title over Aaron Herrera on your undercard in Perth, Danny.
Yeah, he's refereed some of the biggest fights that's ever been in the world, and he's a cracking bloke.
He had a bit of a laugh earlier on.
Inside the final minute of round number 1. 8-1-1 in his last 10 fights is Ruiz.
Oh, good hook, Will. Yeah, well done. You see the mark around the right eye of Ruiz. Oh, good right hand on. Oh!
Ruiz down in round number 1. Is he down or is he out?
Will was just clipped before that and he came back beautifully.
Beautiful left hook from Will Tomlinson.
It's very, very encouraging for the young kid.
Fight on. Final seconds of the opening period. Tomlinson going headhunting.
He's got to be careful. Ruiz still dangerous.
He's tasted the Aussie's power. Tomlinson came into tonight 19 fights, 18 wins, 12 victories inside the distance. There's plenty of punch inside that 59-kilo frame. You've been there, you've done it before. How nervous is Will Tomlinson, title defence number 1?
Oh, he's nervous, mate. He's naturally nervous, and it's a good thing up in the rooms. I had a chat to him and said, he was telling me how cranky he was during the week. I said, man, you're not alone there. I'm the crankiest guy on earth before I fight, but he's very relaxed, and that shot that dropped in there was a lovely shot after he got hit pretty bad himself. I think it's going to give Will a lot of confidence knowing he can get to this Mexican if he can just stay cool, and he was calm after he dropped him. He didn't rush it.
Let's take a look at it.
Nice.
Round 2.
Tomlinson caught off guard and a beautiful left hook. And he had some purchase on it.
Flush on the button.
Round number 2 scheduled for 12. The thing about the Mexicans, they will get up, stand up, dust themselves off, and pop themselves back on your chin and your chest. They're as tough as they come.
Will's thrown a different kit of punches than I've seen him throw early on. Most of his fights he starts off pretty basic and, lets the jab and the hook and the right go, but he's trying some different shots. He's just tried through the right hand lead and then followed up with a straight left, which just missed the Mexican.
That's what you want to see in the fighters. They bring something different for each opponent. Every opponent's different. Bring something different out as Ruiz digs one to the body and Will goes for the counter left hook.
This Mexican can punch, boys. He's got a pretty solid hit on him, and he's not afraid to let him go. So Will's just got to be real careful. Like you said, Chris, keep the right hand up for that left hook.
That's right, yeah.
They're all dangerous with the hooks, man.
It is that left hook. It's his weapon of choice. 27 wins, 19 via way of knockout for a bloke that debuted back in August of 2007. Starting low there, Tomlinson.
Yeah, I think that'll work for Will. You see where Ruiz left hand sits a lot of time. If Will doubles that jab up to the chest or the body, straight over top with the right hand. The left hand staying low of Ruiz, and I think Will will catch him with that right hand.
Ruiz, you've seen about 5 or 6 times now, he's tried to slip the left and then come up with an uppercut. Hopefully that won't land. Hopefully Will's going to jerry onto that and keep his... Oh, nice. He blocked that really well. That would have been a really hard shot, man. Yeah. That would have hurt if he hit Will. Nice jab.
Beautiful jab from Tomlinson, stepped into it and got plenty behind it. And again, Ruiz, his head rocks backwards.
Doubling the jab nicely there, Will. He's got to do that more to back this tough Mexican kid up.
Trains out of Sydney, Will Tomlinson, but he's a Victorian boy through and through. Born in Barnsdale down here.
Hence the crowd he's brought here tonight. It's massive.
It's a great crowd, great venue. Fidel doing a good job with Will. You know, he's picking guys that are going to test him, that are going to make this kid work and improve, and he's shown improvement so far in this fight. I definitely think after his last performance was a great one. I think he's actually stepped up a little bit, and he's been with Lincoln Hudson from day dot as a pro, so they've got a good team going.
I think from Will is always in, you know, a good fight. He lands a lot of shots, but he takes a lot, and I think that's what he's really got to work on. So far, so good here in this fight.
Unfortunately, Tomlinson reels out of that. Caught one in the eye. I think there was a head clash there first.
Okay.
May have got a thumb in the eye at the end of it. Geez, the way he reeled back. Oh. 2 rounds down, some big shots already. Plenty more still to come.
Let's take a look at round number 2 after things settled down after the knockdown from Will Tomlinson in round number 1.
It's a clean right hand that cracked him.
Yeah, got
right
him in the eyeball. In the eye, yeah. Oh, might have been the elbow.
Yeah, you're right, Chris. Elbow clipped him on the way out.
Got him, yeah.
Punch in the eye wouldn't have tickled that, would it?
Certainly.
Former champions at 130 pounds in the crowd tonight, Barry Michael and Lester Ellis. Tomlinson with that cracking right hand and the head come belting together.
Stop that.
Oh.
That was a Saturday night king hit.
Oh, Will going for the big left hook again. He's got to be careful.
Tomlinson's cut.
Got a cut.
Tomlinson is cut, and it's in an awkward position as he opens up here on Ruiz.
Certainly
Ruiz goes to the body.
Not going to phase Will. He's been in this position before. Oh.
You wanted a war, we expected a war, and a war is what we shall get.
This is what you get when you fight Will Tomlinson, mate. You're going to get a guy who's going to be in your face trying to knock you out.
You put a recipe of a Mexican in between that, it reaps action, that's for sure.
Exactly, Chris. It's a great fight so far.
A full 7-week preparation for Daniel Ruiz. They do have a common opponent. That was Alan Herrera, who Will beat for the vacant title back in November. Ruiz lost on points to Herrera back in 2009.
Let's see if that classic styles make fights weighs up tonight, because, you know, Will beat Herrera and Herrera beat Ruiz. But, good right hand.
That's exactly right. As I said earlier, every fight's different, and anything can happen here tonight.
It's funny, people kind of associate, they look at it and go, well, this guy beat this guy, so he should beat him. I could fight Andy. Andy could beat me in 3 rounds. You could fight, Andy could fight Chris. Chris could beat Andy, and I could beat Chris. You know what I'm saying?
Are you predicting I'd beat you, Grooney, in 3 rounds? I'll run with that.
Styles make fights, mate. You never know.
Got it. You're exactly right. And the type of style that Wild Will has normally ends up with a bit of claret on the ring.
And certainly fan-friendly, that's for sure.
Yeah. He's commentator-friendly too.
Yeah, he is. Makes it easy for us.
You're definitely not going to fall asleep watching him.
Nice from Tomlinson, pulling his way across the ring. He's now in a dominant position.
He he's starting to assert his authority on the Mexican, but the Mexican's still very dangerous. You know what? I'm actually really impressed with the calmness and the tranquility of this Mexican. He's not phased at all. He's cool as, boys.
And a baby, 22 years of age.
He's a pup.
Probably been fighting since he was 6.
Yeah.
Yep. I just like the look in his eye, you know. He's just cool, he's calm, he's concentrating.
We saw at the end of, the start of round 3, he was up early, 20 seconds before the bell even went.
There's the old story that sparring in Mexico is often more brutal than fighting in most places across the world.
The Mexican's actually trying to bring Will onto the left hook when he comes in.
That's his shot, the Mexican.
Round 3.
Good round, boys.
Yep, another good round. Tomlinson cut. Time for Lincoln Hudson to go to work here in the red corner.
No problem. I got it. All good. Okay, now listen to me, brother. We're going to go light hands, light feet until you can't punch that one. Okay? What's happening is you're not going right here with your right hand. You're overreaching with a jab. Okay? What is measure? What is measure?
Let's wind the clock back to the night in Will Tomlinson's career. It was November 2011. Perth's Challenge Stadium on the undercard of Danny Green and Christoph Wlodarczyk. Tomlinson grabbed himself a slice of history and realised the dream in what was a war. There's no other word for it. Herrera stood there, took it and gave it back, and that's exactly what we're expecting tonight from Daniel Ruiz.
Geez, he threw some nice shots in that little sequence there. I think Herrera and Ruiz go to the same barber too, boys.
Yeah.
No big. Everything's good. Everything's good. Come on.
Smoger's our referee, our experienced American referee, Stevie Smoger, just trying to calm things down between two athletes.
Great balance from Will Tomlinson there.
He's a compact little fighter, isn't he?
Yeah,
He's got that nice compact style.
Amateur career of 90-odd fights. He was a state, national and Oceania champion. This is 20th time as a professional.
I think from memory as well, he may have even represented Australia at the World Championships in Chicago maybe that year.
Or a couple of straight left hands there did our man Will.
Step.
And push around to his left and create an angle, Tomlinson. And the exchange, looking for that left hook.
Another head clash.
Really come together.
You get the feeling, the way and the rate they're happening, it's not going to be the last.
It's just the style of the fight.
Yeah, it's not intentional. Both boys are just giving, you know, they want to be devastating in their power.
Ruiz trying to go under. Tomlinson bullies him into the corner. Ruiz counter.
Nice uppercut left hook in there by Ruiz. It's good work.
Now it's Will's turn to do the bullying here, and he does just that. Final minute of round number 4.
That's real good work. That's the finer points of boxing that you look at as a coach or, you know, your trainer on the outside. Ruiz went for the big left hook. Will's right hand was glued to the side of his chin. There you know, and again, there's a perfect illustration. You know then you can't get caught with that left hook. And they're the little things you're looking for as a coach.
And he countered nicely with his own hook.
Yeah, that's right.
Step.
They would have watched plenty of Daniel Ruiz on everyone's favourite coach and trainer, Mr. YouTube, and seen that the left hook is where Daniel Ruiz does most of his damage.
That's right.
I find it amazing some fighters don't use video analysis to study their opponents. They just go and fight them and even check them out, you know. Yeah. It's madness. But that's giving a mark an even break.
That's right, yep.
sure. So when you do it, you've got to let your hands work for you. You see what I'm saying?
Harry Michael in the corner. Former 130-pound champion of the world, holding the IBF version along with Lester Ellis and Robbie Peden.
Seconds out, round 5.
Here we go, round number 5. Will Tomlinson, Daniel Ruiz, Australia and Mexico for the IBO Super Featherweight Championship of the World.
Okay, Greeny, put your trainer's hat on. Will Tomlinson seems to be in control, but Ruiz still dangerous. What do you tell Will Tomlinson in the corner?
Oh, good shots, both boys in there. I would tell him, Chris, to keep doing exactly what he's doing, but I would probably tell him to actually be a little bit more careful.
Yeah.
Because this Ruiz kid's getting a bit more desperate now.
Oh, Tomlinson is down.
Oh, he's hurt himself.
Counted as a slip after getting a big left hook.
That corner is slippery though, because Ruiz nearly slipped before.
Wipe it down.
His eyes look all right. Will's eyes look all right. But there you go. There's a perfect example of this kid's getting desperate. He's getting wild. Will's doing a good job. He's having to work hard. Good hook inside there by Will Tomlinson and a counter by Ruiz. But he's just got to stay cool because he's won every round.
Yeah.
But he's having to work hard for it.
Yeah, I fully agree, and it might be just one of those fights that he's just got to grind the 12 rounds out.
Nice shot from Tomlinson.
Just stay in front of his opponent.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. I wouldn't be telling him to go to look for the knockout at all. Oh, lovely shot. Lovely one, too, there by Will Tomlinson.
Then again, if the knockout comes like it almost did just then, shorten your night at the office.
That left hook from Ruiz just oozes power, and it's not like it's muscle power, it's just the way he throws it. It just brings his whole body weight across, and it's got speed on it.
He's winging it. He's got some herb on it, all right. It's got a lot of herb.
Keep him in front. Keep him in front of you, Will. Keep him in front.
Oh, maybe nearly caught one.
He slowed up a little. He would have slipped that in his day.
Things just settled down in the middle minute of round number 5.
Nice 1-2 there by Will. Finding his range now. If he fights inside, he's going to give the Mexican an edge. He's got to stay where he is outside. He's teeing off nicely.
Get behind him. Will's natural instinct is to fight. Very nice boxer, but he's a fighter.
Yeah.
Get back on the chest and have a crack.
Yeah, that's what he wants to do. But, it's funny, too, because Ruiz has got, by the looks of it, the reach advantage and the height advantage, but Will's is outboxing him from a distance.
30 seconds remaining, round number 5.
Just for the viewers at home who kind of think, they're getting tagged, but they're not going anywhere, and why aren't they going down? Well, a lot of guys, as you know, Chris, a lot of guys, people who don't fight and haven't ever fought before, especially at this level, at the level you have been at as well, they wouldn't realise that most guys will be knocked out. These guys are here because they're tough. They can handle it. The punishment they're handing out is quite substantial.
Just works its way up in levels from domestic level to international level, world level.
To elite level.
Hurts, doesn't it, mate?
Let's have a look at this. What was classed as a slip from the referee. Left hook definitely touched him, but he just didn't seem on balance there, Will Tomlinson.
It looked spectacular, didn't it?
Oh!
He got a knuckle sandwich.
Didn't blink an eyelid.
Seriously, is when it's on the ropes. Until then, sit down with your punches. Double, triple right hand, not 1-2. I'm telling you, and every time he throws, he goes to the body shot.
Seconds up.
Referee Steve Smoger there having a joke about the punch he copped. He's a great sport.
Round number 6, middle rounds here. Tomlinson certainly in control on the judges' scorecards. Ruiz, 22 years of age, his second time fighting out of Mexico. The first was in June last year. 10-round loss to Logan McGuinness up there in Canada. Marked up around and under both eyes is Ruiz. Oh, good shot from Tomlinson.